Welcome back, guys, and I know it's been a while since I've posted anything homeschool related. We had an amazing summer, and I'm still working on our Nevada trip videos, but it is almost the end of July, and in a month we will be starting homeschooling again, and our schooling stuff is starting to come in, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. I haven't even opened the History Quest or the Science Odyssey yet. Drayden is 7 years old. He is autistic. He would technically be in 2nd grade in public school. Some of this is 3rd grade, some of it is level 1, some of it is 2nd grade. Because he's homeschooled, we're able to do what we feel like is the right level for him. So I haven't even opened it yet, and I have been wanting to so badly, but we have History Quest and the study guide. This is a complete history curriculum for elementary age children, and it goes with this and this, and you need the Osborne Illustrated Encyclopedia. It's ordered, it's just not here yet. For science, we have Chemistry, Real Science Odyssey, Level 1. This is the one it recommended that we start with. It says grades 2 to 5, so I hope it's fun. Again, I haven't even opened it yet. This one I couldn't wait, I opened it. We have Writing with Ease, and then the Level 1 workbook. This is Level 1 through 4. Is all in this one book for like the teacher's guide kind of thing. And then in here you have, I'll flip through it in a minute, but you have like a lesson plan, and then at the back you have like the practice pages. But I will give you up close of that in a minute. And then we have first language lessons for the well-trained mind, Level 3. We did Level 2 last year, and it was only one book. So it was like just this book. But this year you get this book and a workbook, which is just the kids' pages. Again, I will flip through it. So, this is actually everything that we will be using for him except for Math Mammoth. We are on Math Mammoth Level 3, Grade 3. We started that the last 2 months of the last school year. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn my camera so that you can see the book, and I'm going to go ahead and go through this. If you have not already, please subscribe. It really helps our channel if you subscribe and hit like. And if you hit the bell notification, you'll be notified every time we post a new video. So, go ahead and just go hit subscribe right now. I'll wait. And I'll get the book set up while I wait. Alright, so we're going to start with first language lessons for the well-trained mind. So this is the teacher's guide, and we bought this because we used it last year and I loved it. So you just have your table of contents. It's really self-explanatory. And then, so you get a lot of information about how to use it. And I love that part. So I will go through and I'll read this, even though I did read it all last year. I will read it again. And they talk about it quite a bit. There's a lot of extra stuff that you can do in here if you want to. And then I'll just show you lesson 1. So the parts of this book, and then it tells you exactly what you as the instructor are going to say and what you would like the student to reply with. In exercise 1 of your workbook, copy the title. Now this is new from last year. Last year it was just one book. We had to write it on separate paper. So here now we have this book that's First Language Lessons for the Well-Trained Mind Level 3 workbook. And if we open to lesson 1, right here it gives him really nice lines to write on. And he'll write first language lesson, lesson 34, linking verbs with diagramming. And, sometimes it has you go back. Like here it'll say go back and read this poem that was on lesson 31. We did this last year, and I like that it's in here again. It wasn't just a useless amount of time that we learned it. We're reviewing it again this year. Here's lesson 34, and so it says, in your workbook, read the sentences in exercise 1 and circle the action verb in each sentence. An artist paints pictures. What's the action verb? Engineers design skyscrapers. I like it. I think it's going to work really good, and I'm very excited to get started with that. So that is first language lessons for the well-trained mind, level 3. I actually have my price list right here. So the workbook was only $13.15. It was on sale. And this was $17.95 for that. So then, my kiddo struggles with writing. He is competent of writing. He knows how to write. It's hard for him to write. It's something I've struggled with teaching. So since we like that one so much, I decided to go with the Well-Trained Mind again, Writing with Ease. This book here is for levels 1 through 4. So you could just use this book and write, as it says, write your own elementary writing curriculum. And so if you open it up, it gives you a lot of information about the process. Part 1, understanding the process. I've started reading this, but I haven't gotten through the whole thing yet. So we have that, and then it goes on to talk about the 3 stages. Here it gives you a little more information about, I guess, what to expect in the first progression and in each grade where you would be at. Now, it says you're supposed to use the mastery evaluation at the end of these to decide which level your child should be on, and I did not do that. I just went with year 1 because he does not enjoy writing, and I did not want to make it super hard. Even though year 1 is first grader level 1, I think it's going to be fine. Now, if we flip, I'm just going to try and jump here. Here is week 1, and day 1 is the first copywork exercise. And it tells you what to do and how to help them and when to stop them. And it wants you to stop them before they finish making the mistake. And then here's your sentences. And here it tells you to explain that they come from Little House in the Big Woods. Now, if we come over to the Writing with Ease Level 1 workbook, because remember, this book is for all 4 levels. That was level 1, but it goes all the way to level 4. So here we have the workbook for level 1. And this could be used without that other book I have there. Because you open it up, and right here it gives you your reading selections, which books they want you to read each week. And I think I'm going to try and stick with these books as much as we can. We do have a lot of other reading things that we're going to be doing as well, so we'll see how that goes. But then you have week 1, and so it says day 1, the first copywork exercise, and you take out student page 1, which is at the back, and it says write the student's name and date for him as he watches, but it says, or ask him to write the name and date independently. So he can definitely do it independently. And then you'll see when I show it to you, these 2 sentences are on it. And you're supposed to discuss it, point out the capital letters and all the punctuation and stuff. and then you choose one of the two sentences for them to write. And again, you stop them if they make an error. So, let me show you what that page looks like. It's a little weird to me that it's at the back of the book instead of just being right with it. And this part you can buy separately, but it would not do you any good without this other part, I don't think, because this is what you get. But for my kid, it's nice to have these lines and this much room. And it's just going to be nice to have it to keep. And each one's its own page. It's not front and back. We are looking for, as secular as we could get anyway, of a science and history curriculum. So this is what we landed on. Real Science Odyssey. And it said to start with the chemistry. So that's what we started with. So let's see what this is here. An introduction to RSO. What's the big idea? Lab supply list, adjusted schedule. So I got quite a bit of reading to do here too, it looks like. Here's your lab supply list. So for the first unit you need a teaspoon of clear glass, a dish, a kitchen towel, a box of cereal, confectionery sugar, baking powder, baby powder, white vinegar, cooking oil, food coloring, and dish soap. Wow. I'm glad I got this now. Hopefully that's for like a whole week and not a day, right? Suggested weekly schedule. So that's okay then. Week 1, day 1, and day 2. There's only 2 days of it. But yeah, you need all those things that day, okay? Further reading and exploring. So when we went to the library, this would be what we would be looking for. And I'll be making a list of these things. How to think like a scientist. I can be a chemist. What is a scientist? Let's see what Unit 1 looks like. What is chemistry? Oh, it's a microscope. I was a little concerned about what the chemist was doing with the glue, but it's a microscope. Oh, it's a little poem. It started with an atom, to this I must confess. Then it was a molecule with not one atom less. Some kids they build with Legos, and some with Playmobil. But me, oh, I like atoms. I build things that are real. I may be only 8, but I already know my fate. It has been addressed. Yes, I'm a chemist. Ha, that's cute. Oh, so that's nice. It has like a nice little, very directed at the kid. Look, area thing here. This looks very kid friendly. Of a little story about chemistry, about what is chemistry. And then we have what is chemistry. Lab 1, be a chemical detective. So for this you need the lab sheet and a pencil, a box of cereal that has several ingredients. So basically they're going to run around the house looking for chemicals. And then we have what is chemistry. Lab number 1, be a chemical detective. So here's the thing. Chemicals in a box of cereal. I've heard of these. I've never heard of these. 4 chemicals I have never heard of. 4 things made of chemicals I use every day. 2 chemicals that are dangerous. And that would be the first unit in it. That looks intensive, but fun. And so then this is still the same unit. So it looks like you would do 2 days of it, although I'm thinking it's more than 2 days worth. Because look, it goes all the way to here. So I may look at how other people are doing it, because that looks like more than 2 days of work for me. Discussion and conclusion is over here. Crossword vocabulary review before you get to Unit 2. So that's supposed to take a week. It's supposed to take 2 days of a week, but we'll see how that goes. It looks fun though. I like that it's all right there and written out for me. That is a nice part. Okay, so we have two left. We have this history quest and then the book that goes with the history quest section. And I ordered these from Pandius Press, I think the people who ran it. I might have ordered them from Secular Homeschool, I'm not really completely sure. I'm going to go ahead and open both of those at the same time. So there's History Quest, Lisa Hawkins, Prehistory, 8th Century CE. Now, my kid can read well. He just really doesn't like to read any more than he likes to write. So my hope is that this is I've heard this is very story orientated. Again, it looks like I have some author, editor stuff before I get into the actual story. Looks like it's talking, it's traveling and how you can travel in a book. Paleolithic times. So that started on page 5. And it goes to page 10. That's not too bad. Oh. And then we have History Hop, the Knapper. I would assume that would be a second day. And then we move on to chapter 2. Let's see what it says in here. These are perforated pages, which I do not like because I like my books to stay complete. I don't like to take them apart. Here's the how to use the study guide. Required book lists. Okay, so I have this one and I bought this one. It's just not here yet. The Usborne Encyclopedia of World History with Internet links. What is history? So that's cool. Alright, let's see if we can get that centered back on there. Okay. So, introduction. What is history? This week's quest, learn the definition of ancient history. And it tells you what your resources and materials you're going to need are. It gives you a list of enrichment reading. Again, put that on the list of books to check out at the library to see if we can find any of them. And supplies needed for day 3 is a 3-ring binder, a hole punch, and coloring tools. Okay. So now it gives us a unit schedule. Day 1 is discover. Day 2 is explore. Day 3 is create. Day 4 is demonstrate. And day 5 is enrich. Okay. So lessons. Day 1, discover. Read pages 12 to 91. See, that seems a little much. Okay, so that means read that in the Usborne Encyclopedia of World History. So that's not so bad. I'm betting there's not so much words in there. So we don't even read this History Quest book until day 2. And then we read the introduction. And then we do Google Earth search for Lascaux. That's cool. Plan a prehistory themed field trip. Plan a trip to a museum of natural history. Day 3, create your history notebook. So it looks like there's a page in the back of the book, Appendix C, that you would use to do that with. And it tells you exactly what they want you to do. And like I showed you, we have lots of copy work and dictation, so we're not going to worry about these. Kind of looks like he gets a choice, though. Day 4, option 1. He can give the short answers, option 2, narration, or option 3, copy work and dictation. So I like that there's options there. That's definitely nice. And then day 5 is enrich, which I would think that would be the day that you would go to the museum or whatever. That's the day I would do it for sure. And then you actually start the first actual unit. And I think this is going to be the hard part for us, is this. Like, for this one, we need a clay pot, 1-gallon storage bags, a hammer or a can for crushing vegetable oil, paintbrushes, painting surface, paper or stone. Mortar and a pot pestle, optional at least. That's for option 1, I guess. Option 2 is paints, painting surface, and paintbrush. Boy, that one seems a lot easier, doesn't it? Anyway, I am excited for this. This looks cool. I am excited. I definitely have my work cut out for me. I forgot to give you guys the prices on the rest of the stuff. So this book, like I said, level 1 to 4 is $17.95 is what we paid for it. And the workbook that went with it, we got for $20.95. These up here, and we paid, it doesn't tell us what we paid for them. It was a lot. It was 60 something for this one and this one, and I think this wasn't that much. Or this was expensive and that wasn't that much. I'm not sure which it was, honestly. But it's worth it. I think it's stuff he's gonna really like, and it's gonna hopefully make school more enjoyable for him and more interesting. Back here is the stuff from Rainbow Resource, which is more of the stuff we had to have. Up here is the stuff that I wanted to add. I could have done these things without this, but this is going to make it easier and better. So it was totally worth it. Alright guys, so thanks for watching. And I will do a flip through of each one later on, once I get a little more familiar with them. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and